Welcome to Family Corner. My name is Jay Gervin, he, him, and I am an orientation leader. Family Corner is a series that features staff from various departments who are excited to share their expertise and the resources available to support your student. The hope is that this series will provide new insights and information so that you are better informed as you support your student's transition to college. In today's episode, we are discussing the GLBTA Pride Center and are joined by Lee Forrest, they, them, the director of the GLBTA Pride Center on campus, as well as Eliott Phile, he, him, and they, theirs, and Cristina Dudziak, she, her, who are both student leaders involved with the Pride Center. What kinds of services or resources does the Pride Center provide to students? Are there any special events or programs that the Pride Center puts on that you would like to talk about?
I'll start. Welcome everyone, I'm Lee Forrest, they, them. So a lot of services I would put under the heading of advocacy. So we advocate not only for some more inclusive policy changes, like we have a lived name, also known as name of use or preferred name policy. We have over 70 single occupancy, gender neutral restrooms across campus. We have housing that is assigned by gender identity, a whole host of services that fall under the advocacy heading. So we do that, that's one thing that we do. Another thing is we provide resources to campus, all of campus, whether you're faculty, staff, or students. And it's with the goal of educating folks about LGBTQ inclusion, just some basic facts. There's a lot of misinformation about this population and that we try to correct. And so we do that through some of our programs as well and some of our events. So we have literature, we have information that's online, and I'll tell you about that in a future question. But we have the events that folks are more than welcome to come to. Hopefully you can have your student come to some of these events, and hopefully they'll learn something. I hear a lot of folks tell me that they thought they knew a lot about this population, but there's always something more that you can learn. And so by attending these events, not only will you be helping to educate your student and encouraging your student to attend, but they'll also get to meet other students. And so that's the last part, like the home away from home piece is what we like to provide to students, so that they feel that there's a place where they're completely welcome, where all of their identities are affirmed and included. And so if your student may not feel that they're involved enough on campus, we encourage you to suggest that they come to the Pride Center. There are very friendly people there, like Cristina and Eliott, who will be warm and friendly and just welcome them with open arms. And so after saying that, I just wanted to open it up to both Cristina and to Eliott to share a little bit about some of the things that you've done in the Pride Center and some of the experiences that you may have about how welcoming does the Pride Center feel to you and to the peers that you talk to? What are some of the events that that hold a special place in your heart? And what are some of the things that maybe you've learned? So, Cristina, would you like to go first?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, Cristina, that's our she, her. And yeah, I immediately got involved with the Pride Center. First day on campus, I came to visit my first day on campus. And I felt that immediately. I felt this sense of welcoming. As soon as I walked in, there were people there who were ready to greet me, and it was just a really warm atmosphere to walk into. And I then saw a poster on the wall that was the job opportunity looking for student speakers at the Pride Center. So that was how I initially got involved with working with the Pride Center. I was a student speaker, and I got to speak at one of the many events that the Pride Center has, which was LGBTQ 101, which was essentially speaking to members of the student body and just sharing my experiences on a panel of other students who also identify as members of the LGBTQ community. And from there, I ended up getting an internship at the Pride Center and helping to construct and deliver a presentation surrounding the experiences of queer people of color, which was a really great learning opportunity, and also an opportunity to to do social justice work on campus. So I've really loved getting involved, and I've just felt like the Pride Center has been such a huge part of my experience and feeling like a member of BSU and really feeling connected to this campus.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Eliott. My pronouns are he, they. For me, and I feel like this could be a sentiment that other students will hold as well, I was very nervous to go into the Pride Center the first time. Had one of my friends that I met during orientation come with me, so I was like, I need somebody with me, I don't want to go alone. And the minute I got in there, I was talking with the other students. One of them noticed like a sticker on my laptop, and then we instantly like connected. So I didn't feel as though I was alone the minute I got in. And I feel like that is the reason why the Pride Center feels like a home. It's because there's so many people that are like you and they understand where you're coming from. I know for me, going to the transgender identities group really helped too, because it just showed that there are other people on campus just like me. And that's the main thing for me, is I want to feel as though I'm a part of the community. So having that really helped.
How does outreach work within the Pride Center work, and how can students get involved?
Well, through social media. We have a Facebook page and an Instagram page and Twitter. And we're also on a website on the BSU externally facing page, so that parents can visit it. We also have an intranet, an inside facing page for students, and that also has even more information. So there's a whole host of information on both of those sites. And we also have a weekly newsletter that shares what's going on in the center, what to look out for too, what's coming down the pike in terms of what events are happening and how else can you get involved, or we're hiring or something like that. And the students also, when we're fully on campus, and so thank you again for all the times that you've posted information to social media websites, as well as posted all the flyers around campus. So once we're all back on campus again, there will be lots of, I'm sure, Pride Center flyers hanging up everywhere again. Do either of you have anything to add?
I mean, I'll just say that for me, the flyers were the big thing that caught my attention. They were all over campus and they were really colorful, and so yeah, I just found out about a lot of events through the flyers, and also just talking to people in the Pride Center, and you learn about what's going on.
In what ways does the Pride Center provide a safe space where all students can gather and spend time? I know you guys touched upon that a little earlier, but do you have any additional comments?
I think one of the things that I noticed when I first came in is the people that were working at the Pride Center, the peer liaisons, had their lanyards, or they had something that had their name and their pronouns on there. So I knew that I could come in and say my pronouns and feel respected and have my identity feel validated there. And I think that's like really important.
In what ways can families or parents get involved with the Pride Center and or stay informed?
I would suggest make regular visits to the website. If you're on social media, definitely like us or follow us, because we post things there all the time. And you can sign up for the weekly newsletter. You just need to get a link, and the link is really only available to people who are inside on the intranet, so have BSU credentials to log in, but you could always get that information from your student. Definitely, I would encourage you to tell your student all the places where we have information about the Pride Center so that they can stay current.
How can families support their BSU student and make sure that they can support them as they experience the changes that come in regards to their transition to college? Or in other words, how can families be a source of comfort for their student?
I'd like to start, if that's okay. So LGBTQ students face all of the same transition challenges, demands, opportunities as every other student. So figuring out who they are professionally, who they are and what their interests are academically, who they are socially. At the same time, LGBTQ students are learning how to integrate and navigate around a society that isn't always accepting of their LGBTQ identities. So that's an additional challenge that LGBTQ students need to navigate and overcome. And so the role of parents is really significant, so important in this regard. Not to throw out too many statistics at you, but students are, and this is K through college, are 8 times more likely to consider suicide if their parents are not supportive of them, who are LGBTQ. And so the role of parents is just so important. If your student comes out to you or is questioning, to be a source of comfort, please do your best to learn the facts about LGBTQ identities and try to avoid the misinformation that is out there abundantly, so that you can be supportive to your student, so that you could be that source of comfort for them, and so that they have more energy and there's more to them that they can apply towards their academics and their professional development. And so maybe Cristina or Eliott have something to say about parental support.
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. So yeah, for me, I would say that college, being in college has really been the time where I've come into my identity, and both really stepped out of denial for myself and also come out more to other people. And it's been incredibly helpful to have my parents be supportive of me. And also the work that I do, because I feel like a big part of my ability to come to terms with myself has been able to share my experience and do this work at the Pride Center. Like the QPOC 101, which is the internship that I have, and it's just been great to feel like I don't have to keep a huge part of my life secret, because it is a big part of my BSU experience having this internship, and it does involve me talking about my experiences as a queer woman. So definitely having family support has made me feel like I don't have to hide this part of my life, and I can share about my successes over the dinner table, and it's nice to just feel like I'm held by my family. Yeah.
I consider myself one of the lucky ones that has a supportive family. Even when I was younger, we went to a church where the pastor was a lesbian. I was surrounded by queer people and trans people and people that have always been different. So I've always had that ability to see diversity, but it was still scary coming out to my parents and having them verbalize that yes, we support you no matter what is really helpful. I know my grandmother, I was terrified to come out to her, but the minute I did, she went to the Pride Center. She actually works here, went to the Pride Center, got flags and pins, and has been the most supportive person, I think, in my life. I don't know what I'd do without her. She's kind of also been the Pride Center Nana, so a lot of my friends are like, oh, Nana, whenever they see her on campus. And Lee can tell you, Nana, she's something special. So it's nice to have family members support you. Without it, I don't know where I'd be.
So how do faculty and staff get involved with the Pride Center?
Well, faculty hold office hours in the Pride Center, and so in that way they get to know many students on a personal level, and then they actually serve as informal mentors to these students. So it's really a fantastic gift that the faculty are giving to students when they have these office hours in there. Safe Zone, which is basically an educational training workshop about LGBTQ identities and how to support them, as well as the internship that Cristina is involved in, QPOC 101. Both of those are training workshops that faculty, staff, and students can attend to learn how to be supportive and to learn, again, the facts about these communities. And when they complete, for example, the Safe Zone training, they'll get a placard. And so students will have often remarked about going to meet with a faculty member and seeing that placard in that faculty member's door or Also, we have safe zone buttons for people who've been trained in safe zone. So seeing somebody just with a button on their backpack, it's a symbolic way to signal that you have allies around who care about you and who have your back. And so the Safe Zone and QPOP 101 have been really instrumental in being able to campus-wide send a signal that LGBTQ students on campus are included and respected and belong here. And the last thing I would say is that I have a lot of faculty and staff who have relatives, sometimes their own children, sometimes themselves, who come to me for support and for information about how they can either come out themselves or how they can help their loved ones thrive. If the person is not on campus, then thrive off campus. And I'm always happy to help folks help their loved ones be successful regardless of their identities.
Thank you, Lee, Eliott, and Cristina for your perspective today and words on the GLBTA Pride Center. I'm sure they will be helpful to our students as they themselves transition to BSU. Thank you for viewing today's episode of Family Corner focused on the GLBTA Pride Center. Be sure to catch our other episodes as we will be visiting the BSU Family Hub website, where we will talk about other campus partners, about the student experience, just like today. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.